Hey everybody, it is Professor Sarah Billow here. So there's actually been a few inquiries to my channel recently. How much do hedge fund managers really make? So I've I have this article here that says that an entry-level analyst will make $335,000 at a hedge fund in 2013. Now I think that's wrong. I don't think that's right. I've linked the article below, by the way. I don't think that's right. I think that an analyst that maybe is a senior analyst or like the senior analyst on the team, I think that person probably makes 335, but I don't know too many entry level people that came in like just graduated from business school and now they're making 335. I don't think so. I don't think that happens. I think they maybe make 100 or 200, but I don't think they make much more than that. I think when you get more senior, then you probably make that amount of money. So, by the way, it also says that average salaries for portfolio managers at large hedge funds have reached 2.2 million according to GlowCap. Well, yes. So I actually would believe that because you think about it, these guys are charging 2 and 20, right? 2% and then 20% on the high water mark. I mean, I definitely think it could get up there if you're a portfolio manager. Now, there are a few factors for this. Keep in mind that these hedge funds, they operate on skeleton crews. There aren't that many people there. And in a good market, if they're using leverage especially, right? I mean, I could see how there could be a lot of money to be made. But here's what this report is overlooking. So while a portfolio manager at a large or even medium-sized successful hedge fund will make this amount of money, the hedge fund industry tends to be extremely bifurcated. So you've got these folks that are at the top in the big funds, and those are the funds that get all the inflows of institutional capital because all these pension funds, nobody wants to invest in anything less than the brand name, and that's especially true with a hedge fund because they're so risky. So the larger established funds really do tend to do quite well in garnering assets from institutions because they're very risk averse. So you have the big guys, so to speak, and then the other thing is you have the really small guys like the startups. And so after 2007, this happened with a lot of people who were laid off, and so they just decided to start their own hedge fund with their own capital. 100,000, 200, maybe even a million, and start up a hedge fund. And then the problem is that people that worked at banks don't necessarily, as analysts or that worked in large institutions had somebody handling the marketing. And so very often these hedge funds are not very successful. A lot of them go out of business. Of course, performance matters, but in addition, there has to be the ability to get out there and pound on the doors, and many people that are just analysts or have managed money or have the technical background don't have the ability to do that naturally, and then they aren't willing to, and there's so much rejection involved with sales, and then, who knows what the performance is like for these things. So what I would say is that while this article may in fact be true for the large, well-off established hedge funds, this does not by any means cover what I think this is not inclusive, and I don't think that this covers what the average situation is for the average portfolio or hedge fund manager who is out there. So let me know what you think. Obviously, this is an extremely highly compensated kind of an occupation, but the other thing this article does not address is that's what this is now, but keep in mind what the barriers to entry are to this profession. After 2007, the crash really cleaned out a lot of these funds, and the strongest have survived. Now, what I think it's created is a lot more stable and credible kind of an industry because you just have a lot of funds that have gone out because of all the leverage and all the crazy stuff they were doing based on luck rather than skill was what you could attribute their success to. So what this article isn't stating is that this is extremely difficult to get into, and if you're working at one of these smaller hedge funds, it's not as lucrative. The other thing is that while the salaries might be quite lofty now in a good market, in a bad market, these hedge funds, hedge fund analysts, very hard once you're fired from there. Although a hedge fund job is a prestigious job to have, very, very, very high likelihood of being laid off when it's a bad market because hedge funds are very risky. if they're on the wrong side of a trade, if they're leveraged, it's very easy for them to go down big and go down fast. And you just saw a lot of people like lose their whole entire life savings due to hedge funds in that crisis that we just had. So not the most stable kind of an occupation unless, like I said, you're really like one of the famous, well-known portfolio managers, or you work at a really prestigious hedge fund. So everybody, let me know what you think. I'm always open to helping people with questions as they forge through the career world of financial services. You can email me. I'm gonna put up my email below in the comments section. Let me know what you think, everybody.